So I got a stool here that just these little tiny tack welds, and that's all that held the base into the stool. And running around on gravel, it did not like that. So we're gonna go ahead and clean this up real quick. I'm just gonna tack weld it. Well, not tack weld it, but you know, weld it up and get that fixed up on here real quick so the stool's back to being usable. Running it today in a flux core configuration, so no gas right now, just flux core wire. So we're not going to get the prettiest welds out of it because flux core, but it's a lot stronger than the little anemic tack welds that held it to start with. I'm going to go through and do all 5 of these sections like that. Shouldn't be a problem again after that. But like I said, this project is it's not worth running gas on it. Plenty fine for what this is going to have to hold together. Good enough. Just threw some paint over on both sides where it blistered the paint off on this side, but thought I'd be good. Also continuing getting a bunch of maintenance done for this year. Pretty much every vehicle needs an oil change. I already did the flatbed and the Cummins, so we're down to the 04 and the motorcycle right now. Really, the flatbed is the only thing I drive enough that it gets consistent oil changes. Everything else I pretty much just do on an annual basis. I mean, if they come up due, obviously they get done, but I don't usually drive most of these that much. This one, though, I did notice air filter needs to come off, get a clean recharge done to it. And then every year when I do the annual service on this, I generally go through and check all the bolts on the headers to make sure that they're still tight, because occasionally they'll start to back out a little bit and it gets a exhaust leak, and that's annoying. So just get the service knocked out real quick on this, and it's one more vehicle that we got back in service. Getting to a little bit more of our spring maintenance today. Got the flatbed here, which has needed door pins for a while, so I got the top pin out. Look at that. Knew it was getting pretty bad. Definitely time for some pins. Another thing, this spring keeps falling out of this door, so we'll throw it back in while we're here, and hopefully it'll stay in for a few more months. Well, there's the bottom bushing, or what's left of it. Even the top one's just paper thin at this point. I mean, that's not bad for, what, 24, holy shit, 24 years. Now I feel old. Anyway, get these popped out of there real quick and get the new ones in. We'll get this back in with the spring in it. I did mark the door before it came off with a Sharpie. Normally I'd say be a little more discreet than that, but I really don't care about the flatbed that much. I have to tap that one out. There's a little piece bent over. Well, this is the rest of my spring maintenance needs. Need to go ahead and get the oil changed on this thing. I've also got new bulbs to put in it. You can see they're white. They're not supposed to be white. When I ordered those fogged lenses, they sent the wrong bulbs with it. So I went and picked up a new set today. I rode it like this for a while in Indiana, but I'm not going to risk getting pulled over down here because I know I'll get a ticket for it here. So we're just going to let it run for a little bit and warm up. Then we'll get the oil drained out and get the oil change done first. Now that it's nice and hot and pretty much guaranteed to burn yourself, take a Forma funnel, put it under that oil filter, because Harley's wisdom, they put quite a bit of stuff below it that's going to hold oil if it leaks. Make a mess. So we'll do that. And I'm probably going to need 2 hands to get that broke off, but the Canon filters are nice because they keep that little nut on the end to get the filter off. Huh, maybe we'll get one-handed. Oh, looks like we missed a little bit back there. I'll have to clean that up. Now we got the new filter there with a little bit of oil on it. We'll get it on there and snug. Then get the Forma funnel out of the way. I'm going to have to go get some brake clean and we'll clean off that engine mount because there is a little bit of oil on it. Just took this hose clamp off. There's a little hose and a plastic plug that hangs down right here. It's kind of under the oil tank. And that is the drain plug for the bike. So I'll get a pan under it. My hand back in there with the hot exhaust because, you know, that problem. And there it goes. Go ahead and take the tank off, the cap off the oil tank real quick. Hopefully it'll dry a little faster. Get that off and up, dripped it. Just be fine. It's not like Paint hates getting oil on it. Nope, still as fast as it's gonna go. Oh, it's gonna be a minute. Now that we got the oil drained, go ahead and fill it back up. Takes 2.5 to 3 quarts. So we're gonna throw 2 quarts in, start it up, let it run. It is a dry sump. We'll let it sit and settle for a minute, then we'll check it and top it off from there. All right, now that the oil change is done and the new bulbs are in, I'm gonna run it down to the gas station real quick, put some fresh fuel in it, and it's ready to go. Well, still a lot cheaper than filling up my truck. Well, that's going to do it for a bunch of our spring maintenance. All 3 trucks have been serviced. Finally got the bike caught back up, ready to go. Been pretty busy lately on a couple bus projects, so haven't had much content out. Hoping pretty soon here that we'll have some more work on my bus, as well as I think the next installment of the build on the dually for Patreon should be probably the next week or so. Got a few parts on order for it again. Excited to have this thing ready to go for the season.